EBV will affect thyroid functions. It's one of the main places that EBV affects. And so often, even in testing, like I see a lot of people that will go and get specific health tests done because they've got all these symptoms. And yet, when they go to do the testing, the markers come back in normal range. By the time the ranges are so far out, you've got a huge issue. Most people will have some sort of kind of thyroid dysfunction. Most people are stuck in adrenal dysfunction hugely, past fatigue and usually into exhaustion and heading down that path. Like the world is kind of just stuck in a lot of issue, but it's that pathway of how that actually kind of happened in the first place that when it comes to healing that you've actually got to look at. So yes, they could possibly say everything is okay, it's in within a range, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got, you know, that the thyroid is functioning correctly. Again, EBV, it's one of the first places that it goes and compromises. Because once the thyroid's compromised, it basically has free reign in the body because it's the thyroid that monitors all the other organs and glands. It's almost like even like autoimmune, your body can't police itself properly. So again, it's almost like these structures that really create balance and alignment in the body, you take one of those out, it kind of just has this huge knock-on effect with lots of other things. So yes, pretty much all the clients I work with and see, they would all have some sort of thyroid dysfunction. They will have adrenal dysfunction, but really a big key to all of that dysfunction is the central nervous system being so deregulated. And that again, EBV pushes it into further and further decline, but it's really like people can have so many stress responses. I don't even think people understand how it's our internal landscape. It's that internal stress gauge that is the real thing that needs to be brought back into balance in order to rebalance the whole body, in order to rebalance, you know, have the body be able to even recover and heal and repair. There's lots of areas to talk about when it comes to those issues or health in that way. You know, even in the body, to look at one structure, one organ or one gland in isolation, it's almost like you're missing so many other key pieces because everything interlinks. It's almost like an ecosystem, like in the world. You take one thing out or one thing doesn't function correctly and you've got this knock-on effect in the body. So by the time people even have those markers or they, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, my thyroid's, you know, I've got thyroid dysfunction or it's, you know, not functioning properly. It's almost like you've got a whole lot of other issues other than just that. And that is really not, you know, the huge key focus. EBV, most definitely, but EBV simply just feeds and took the opportune moments in life to build up over, you know, it can be years, it can be decades for people. So you have to look at almost reprogramming those years of stress in order to create almost like the separation, because even EBV stores all of this information. Like everything holds so much more than what we kind of realize. Again, I talk about EBV being a multidimensional virus. It's because we're multidimensional, and again, everything kind of, you know, interlinks. And again, when it comes to, I guess I want to say true healing that actually compounds and healing that almost changes someone's life, it's looking at on all levels, and it's looking at the story before, I guess, the thyroid and the Hashimoto's. And if you haven't watched the mini course, please go and watch that, because you need to understand the foundation for healing. And when you lose the foundation for healing in the body, that's what you've also got to factor in it and recover. And, you know, even though I do a process to heal people from EBV, everybody, like I do a kind of a set process, everybody's story to the decline is different. It's almost like we're all, you know, we all have our own stories or stress responses or things in our life. And again, that's kind of what life is about. Evolution is about changing. It's about growing. It's about evolving. It's about changing the past. And again, you know, to really heal at those deep levels, there's a bigger picture than just one structure not functioning correctly.